My name is Chhavi Bhandari and I'm pursuing MBA in India from an institute called SP Jain Institute of Management and Research. And our school is quite influenced by the Peter Drucker ideas. In fact, we have a nice big picture of Peter Drucker in our library. So I've read a few of his works and I quite like it. And then I came across this Drucker challenge and I was like, yeah, good. And the best thing about Drucker challenge was there was no restricting us on to one particular topic. So that was good, and so it keeps us, doesn't restrict your imagination so much. So yeah, I decided to write for the essay contest. The 21st century is about three powerful forces. I would call them chaos, contradiction, and complexity. And large corporations, they got to be innovating and adapting to keep up with this changing environment. And that's why I think that it's really necessary that especially large organizations foster entrepreneurship within their organizations. And that was the core idea that excited me, and I wrote about corporate entrepreneurship, also called intrapreneurship.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Murphy. I'm from South London. I'm a trainee social worker. I work in a child protection social work team. But prior to doing that, I was a management trainee at one of the London Borough Councils. And I was studying for a diploma in government management, which is how I heard about the competition. And I had a brief idea of Drucker and his work through my studies, but didn't really see how it was very particularly relevant to my area of work. But then when I moved into social services and some of the challenges I was seeing every day, I realised that actually Drucker's management ideas are very influential and they're timeless. And it was those challenges in work, working with vulnerable people, that made me want to write for the competition. People seem to assume that management is not important in the public sector, and of course it's just as important because public organisations are still large organisations, and to run effectively they require effective management. And I think that's often lost on people. And there seems to be quite a big skills gap between managers in the private sector and managers in the public sector. And I'm very interested about how we can transfer some of those skills into the public sector so that we can use them to help solve social problems. I think a lot of the problems that social work as a profession in England faces at the moment are to do with a lack of consistent management. And often we forget that actually the best management models come from the private sector, but that doesn't mean that they're not transferable. And actually a lot of Drucker's ideas around the knowledge worker in particular, I think are very valuable to be transferred into the public sector in order to bring about a better appreciation of the kind of skills involved in implementing social change. So I think really more effective use of private sector management tools is what the public sector really needs to solve some of its problems.
I think it was a great opportunity for us to come down to Vienna and attend this conference with authorities in various subjects. It was so inspiring and so good to hear them all. And Vienna is a beautiful city. I mean, we've seen it. Every room that we enter is like, wow.
Yeah. There's so much kind of historical richness around us here.
Yeah.
And it gives a very good kind of, we're in the past, but we're also looking at how that fits into the present.